Hello, and welcome to another match of Little Wars. My name is Neagat, and today we're watching a replay of me playing the blue pieces over here on the bottom right. And then on the top left, my opponent, CpS, is playing the red pieces. And so you can see right as soon as we can, both of us go for a house. So this pretty much means that neither one of us are going for an early castle. We're not playing a greedy style, and we're just simply going for the most standard opening. And I think you'll see that opening actually gets pretty aggressive. You know, straight into barracks. Likewise for me. There's really no way for me to know what he's doing, especially since I didn't send a worker to scout. But basically, my plan is to get one or two raiders, head straight over to his base, see if he grabbed a castle or not, which is why I have this cursor over here, and move on from there. But overall, pretty standard play so far. I think I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. Yeah, so right now it's really interesting where the game is in the sense of standard, because looks like we're both going for that Raider Scout right at the same time. I'm making sure to queue up another Raider. He does not. He goes for the early expand. So I make sure to go for this second Raider for like security, to make sure that if this Raider dies to that one, I'll have something left to fight with. But you can see it's only now when I pick up my micro for this Raider here. And so we're basically just blinking all over the place, trying to make sure that we don't kill or that we don't die to each other at least. I pick this up, I micro it together. This is kind of cheeky in the sense of he is here and he's going to try and steal a worker. I see this pretty fast, but it's still rough to lose that worker there. So that was good play on him to move around. This time he's already building another raider to support. And he was so close to killing that other worker. That would have been really scary, I think. So I make sure to path to block it, but still gets it, and that is absolutely rough. But you know, that's the reason why we play these games, so that we can get better at this kind of stuff. And an absolutely great play by him sets me back a ton. As you can see, he's already got his castle up. He's already transferred workers. He has these raiders in defense. He's in a really solid defensive position, and now he's already setting up for the next stage of the game. Whereas I am still getting set up for pretty much the first stage of the game, which is where we're on one bases. All right, so this fight happens. He does a really fantastic job of microing his units, making sure that these really low units over here, we're not going to die. And then obviously I try my best to do damage in return. But he had 3 raiders in that fight and I only had 2, so obviously it's a numbers game when it comes to that. He's macroing, he's getting workers. That's always good to have. Let's go ahead and look at this production tab. All right, so this is where I kind of deviate. I believe there's a couple ideas you can do once you get your second base that I'm familiar with, and I'm sure more ideas exist. But I like to go for the airdrops and then drop in his main base and really really hurt him economically through airdrops. That was pretty good harassment. I don't know if he got a worker there. Hopefully not, because he's already been killing a lot of workers this game. Despite that, we're still pretty even on workers, it looks like. He's amassing. Yes, so like I said, I like to build this advanced workshop, and then by the time the first airship comes out, if I play this right, like absolutely perfect, I should have 5 barrack units coming out of 1 racks. This one would finish up, and then this airship would come out of that. But obviously, because we're not perfect, and because I was pretty occupied in that early game with the microing and defense of the raiders, wasn't able to do that just perfect. So we'll see how that develops. It looks like he's going for a similar strategy. We can see that he's getting an advanced workshop now. So he has a later timing on his advanced workshop. That's absolutely fair. I'm pressuring his worker here. His archers give me it's another sad day for these raiders. It's getting defenses for me. Oh, like I said, I already had 5 racks units set up. I'm already getting another airship, and now I have 2 barracks producing 2 units. And roughly the timing works for every 1 tech unit I can get, like an airship, I should be able to get 2 units out of my barracks. So I think this is where I drop onto his 3rd base and just continuously doing harassment. I think with these airships, they're pretty mobile. They don't have to worry about terrain. So the advantage of being able to fly over your enemy bases where they set up their walls and everything, and just go straight for their mineral lines is a pretty nice advantage. As you can see, my opponent is about to do the same with these raiders here. I'm setting up. So what I like to do here, it's like a double-pronged attack. I've got a couple archers set up in here. I'll be loading up these archers, and then I'll just be sending them into his worker line just like before. So that means he's got to, instead of sending this thing out and focusing on one thing at a time, he has to focus on my units that are attacking, which I get out of there right away once I see all these archers, and then I can straight away go for this worker line. I did notice that he has a watchtower here, which is good defense. But the fact that I was able to keep his workers off of his mineral line for so long really means that he loses out on income. So you can see I'm making about 300 more minerals during that whole fight, and that means that I might be able to have like 4 or 5 extra workers on the field as a result. So those are usually good things. I don't know if I see this actually. I might be too busy microing, but I do know that his force is coming. So at that point, I'm kind of forced to prepare. Oh, another mistake. All this stuff should have been out a lot sooner. Yeah, I should have been building a lot more units to defend against this push. But I have these units at home. Constantly, I like to produce workers. I'm always producing workers. I'm always producing stuff out of my barracks units. And so when an attack like this comes, I'll have units to defend with. For the most part, I'll be okay. I am being a little bit supply blocked here, but hopefully with the completion of this house, I should Should fix that. Again, my opponent macroing up. CpS is playing really well. He's going for that drop, and this is actually something I don't see for a very long time. At this point, my vision of what is happening goes above my main base here. So I don't see that these raiders come in and absolutely annihilate my worker line. And you know, that's something I have to improve on. That's something that we can all really improve on. Looking at the map every time you do a rotation of your production, you look at the map, you make sure that all of your bases are in check. I think those are pretty solid things that all of us could be doing to make sure that we're playing well. Yeah, and I don't know if I end up noticing this at all, because like I'm dropping in his base at the exact same time. It's kind of brutal to lose 2 full worker lines, and I'm I notice that I'm not making as much money, but I have no idea why, and so it's pretty rough. Absolutely blind. Whew, yikes. Oh, it's funny. It's funny. I think I noticed this now once my units start attacking here. Yeah, but that took me way too long. I'm already trying to get a 4th base. It's okay. So let's go ahead and take a recap of what's basically going on. He did a super efficient raider drop that I wasn't able to respond to, and thus he took out 2 worker lines. While this was all happening, I had harassment of my own going on, but he still has 1, 2, 3, and soon to be 4 working or saturated worker lines. Gold mines being produced. And so, as you can see in the chat here, this is when I realized for the first time, oh my goodness, where are all of my workers? I had no idea that I'd basically lost this entire economy war that we have going on. At this point, he has this really large archer soldier combination. He has upgrades coming up, and so we can see already he's got his first armor and attack upgrade, as well as this extra upgrade for the ballista, where their attacks. Oh, that might actually be for the catapult. I don't know if it is. If it's for the Callista, I believe their damage does area of effect. And so I see this army coming with my airship. It gets destroyed. I can obviously see the state of the map for me right there, and seeing this rather large army coming in when I know that my my income is not in a good spot. I'm making less than half of what he is making in production, and you know, it just comes out to a number game at this point. He makes more than I do. His units are better upgraded than I do because he was able to get those upgrades out. And it comes out to a win for my opponent. Really good game from him. I thoroughly enjoyed playing this game specifically, actually. That early game with the Raiders being macroed about, having to defend my castle, and really get a lot of practice with that early pressure when he brought his raiders in and I had to defend with my archers here. That was a lot of fun for me, and I hope you guys really enjoyed watching. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. That'd be great for a growing channel like this. My goal is basically to help Littlewargame expand and really become one of the biggest RTS games out there, because I thoroughly love this game. It's amazing, and I hope you do too. All right, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.